Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Hello, hello, am I audible? Hello, hello, oh, hello, hello, oh, wait. Hello everyone, okay, hello Trisha, hello Salma Mohammed, hello Lake Priya, hello Jivita, am I audible to all? Please give me an yes, all of you. Hello everyone. Hello Trisha. Hello Salma Mohammed. Hello Lake Priya. Hello Jivita. Am I audible to all? Please give me an yes, all of you. Hello everyone. Hello Trisha. Hello Salma Mohammed. Hello Lake Priya. Hello Okay, Jivita. Okay then. So, we are going to start. Okay. Just a second, just a second. Okay. So, shall we start? Hello everyone, shall we start now? Please reply. So guys, shall we start? Okay. So, Lake Priya, hello Trisha. Okay then, we are going to start. Alright. So, in this lecture, we are going to cover digestion and absorption part of class 11th biology. So, before starting, let me tell you about me. So, I am presently an MBBS student, final year MBBS student at AIMS Rishikesh. Okay. So, before starting, let me be clear with two things. First, hello Shri Vidya, hello Akshaya. See, we are going to cover 30 questions in this, and what we will follow is that first I will read the question, then you will answer, and then I will explain you. And if you get the explanation correct, then we will move forward to the next question. If not, then we will stick to that question only. Okay. So it is very important for you to understand the concept that I am going to explain you in each of the question. Okay. So let's start. So starting with question number 1. So parotid salivary glands are present in option A, below the tongue, option B, below the cheeks, option C, in between two jaws, and option D, below the eye orbits. So what is the answer? Yes, what is the answer for this question? So, the answer for this question is option B. The parotid glands are present below the jaws. Okay, so see here, the parotid glands is a pair of salivary gland and it is present exactly over here. Okay, here the parotid glands are present and over here submandibular glands are present, and below the tongue we have the sublingual gland. Yes, Hisham, very well said. It is option B. Apart from that, you also need to know that the ducts of this gland, they are also asked in the examination. So for the parotid gland, the name of the duct is Stenson's duct. The name of the duct is Stenson's duct. For submandibular gland, the name of the duct is Wharton's duct. The name of the gland of the duct is Wharton's duct. And for sublingual, the name of the duct is duct of Rivinus. Okay, it is duct of Rivinus. All three has been asked in the examination. Now moving on to question number 2. Yes, very well said, Hisham, Srividya, Akshay and Trisha, all of you are correct. Now coming to question number 2. So question number 2 is, the primary dentition in human differs from permanent dentition in not having one of the following type of teeth. Okay. Option A is premolars, option B is molars, option C is incisors, and option D, it is canine. So what is the answer over here? Yes, everyone. So we have to know that the humans are diphyodont. Yes, Akshay, very well said. Yes, Srividya, absolutely correct. And Jivita is the first to answer. Yes, humans are diphyodont. It means that we have two types of teeth in our life. First one is the milk teeth or the primary teeth or the primary teeth. And the formula for that, the dental formula for this is ICPM is equal to 2102 upon 2102. So there are two incisors, one canine, 0 premolars and 2 molars. So we can see here the teeth which are absent is premolars, and the total number of teeth in children are 20. It is also important. And the dental formula for adults, it is 2123 upon 2123. So the total number of teeth, it is 32. Now moving on to the next question. So the correct answer is A, that is premolars. Now moving on to the next question, that is question number 3. Two friends are sitting and eating together on a dining table. One of them suddenly starts coughing while swallowing some of the food. This coughing would have been due to improper movement of option A, epiglottis, option B, diaphragm, option C, neck, and option D, tongue. So what is the answer? Yes, all of you? Yes, Trisha is first to answer. Yes, Hisham. Yes, Srividya, option. So here the answer is option A, that is epiglottis. So as you can see in this picture, so here this is pharynx. Pharynx is the opening to two tubes. One of them is trachea, and the other tube that opens into the pharynx, that is the esophagus. Here is the esophagus. So both from pharynx, air pass into this trachea and food pass into the esophagus. So when we are eating, here is one structure present, and that structure is known as epiglottis. Epiglottis, it closes the trachea, and because of that the food doesn't pass into the trachea and it passes into the esophagus. That is why if you are eating, and because while eating, if you are talking, then for talking we need to pass air out of the trachea. Okay, so while talking the trachea is open, and that is why some of the food will pass into the trachea, and to prevent that it will initiate a coughing reflex and you will cough. So that is why it is said that we should never talk while having food, and hence the answer here, it is option A, that is epiglottis. Now coming to question number 4. In the stomach, gastric acid is secreted by option A, gastrin secreting cells, option B, parietal cells, option C, peptic cells, and option D, acidic cells. So what is the answer? So what is the answer for this question, all of you? Yes, I am waiting. Gastric acid is secreted by which of the cells present in the stomach? So is it gastrin secreting cells? Is it parietal cells? Is it peptic cells or the acidic cells? Yes, correct. Lake Priya is first to answer. All of you are absolutely correct. So this is stomach. Okay, this is the structure of the stomach. This is cardiac portion. This is the fundus portion, and this is cardiac, this is fundus, and this here is the pylorus. So most of the gastric glands, they are present here. The gastric glands are present here in the fundus. Here the gastric glands open on the top like a shower. Okay, and the gastric glands, there are three types of cells that are present in the gastric glands. One is the mucous neck cells. Mucous neck cells secretes mucus and it helps for the lubrication purpose. Then it is peptic cells or the chief cells. It is chief of all, and it secretes the enzyme. That is a pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is a proenzyme. Pepsinogen is a proenzyme that is converted into pepsin in the presence of acidic pH. And acidic pH is provided by HCl. And the third type of cells, it is the parietal cells or the oxyntic cells. They secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. And what is the importance of intrinsic factor? Intrinsic factor is important for the absorption of vitamin B12. It is important for the absorption of vitamin B12. And there is one condition that is known as pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. In pernicious anemia, body attacks this intrinsic factor. So because there is decrease in the intrinsic factor, because the body is attacking, vitamin B12 levels will be less in our body. Okay. Now coming to the next question. So the option is option B, that is parietal cells. Now coming to the next question. Which of the following statements is not correct? Option A, goblet cells are present in the mucosa of intestine and secrete mucus. Option B, oxyntic cells are present in the mucosa of the stomach and it secrete hydrochloric acid. Option C, acini are present in the pancreas and secrete carboxypeptidase. And option D, Brunner's gland are present in the submucosa of stomach and secrete pepsinogen. So option is yes. So Trisha is very fast. Yes, the option over here is option D. So let us understand it. So as we have discussed about the goblet cells are present in the mucosa. Okay, there are 4 layers of the alimentary canal. And the 4 layers are: the outermost is the serosa. Then in the serosa, just below the serosa, we have muscularis. Below this is serosa, and this layer, it is muscularis. It is muscularis, and below the muscularis, it is here. It is the submucosa. It is the submucosa, and just below the submucosa an important layer is present, and the name of that layer is mucosa. Here it is known as mucosa. And mind it, all the glands in our digestive system are present in this layer, that is mucosa. But there is only one exception, and that is an important question for your examination, and that exception is Brunner's gland. That exception is Brunner's gland. Brunner's gland is present in the submucosa. It is present in the submucosa, but submucosa of what? It is present in the submucosa of the duodenum and not stomach. Okay, and it secrete mucus. It doesn't secrete pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is secreted by, yes, it is the chief cells or the peptic cells. So the answer for this question is option B. Now coming to the next question. Question number 6. In human gut, in the order of secretion, the proteolytic enzymes are: option A, renin, trypsin and stepsin; option B, pepsin, trypsin, erepsin; and option C, trypsin, stepsin, and dipeptidase, and option D, none of this. So yes, what will be the answer for this question? So what will be the answer for this question? What will be the order of secretion of the proteolytic enzymes in the alimentary canal? So these are the four options. Yes, answer anyone? You can be wrong, but you have to try. Okay, I want each and everyone present over here to try at least. Okay, you can be wrong, but that's not an issue. So for question, so no one is replying so far. So see, here we have to know the order of the proteolytic enzymes. Okay, so this is the alimentary canal. So the first area where the protein is digested is the stomach. Okay, and then it is in the small intestine, and there is, yes, finally someone has said yes. Trisha, you are saying option B. Okay, let us figure it out. Okay, so in the alimentary canal, the first place where the protein is digested is in the stomach, and then in the small intestine, and there is no digestion at all in the large intestine. Okay, but then we have to know that what is the enzyme present over there. So the first enzyme that is present in the stomach, it is the pepsin. Okay, so the first option should be pepsin, isn't it? Then followed by the second enzyme. The second enzyme that is present over here is secreted by the pancreas, and that is trypsin. That is trypsin that is secreted by the pancreas. And the third enzyme that is present is erepsin. Okay, and erepsin is also secreted in the small intestine. And one more fact that I want to tell you is that see, you don't need to know all the questions in the NEET examination. If you know the basic question, then you can rule out the other option and you can mark the correct answer. And that is the trick that many of the toppers have followed for the examination, and they have got decent ranks. Okay, so what will be the answer? Yes, so the option will be option B, that is pepsin, then trypsin, and then it is erepsin. Okay, so the key is you have to rule out the other option. It is not always important that you know the correct answer. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Stool of a person is whitish gray colored due to malfunction of which of the following organ? Stool of a person is whitish gray due to malfunction of which of the following organ? Option A, pancreas, option B, spleen, option C, kidney, and option D, liver. So what is the answer? So what is the answer for this question? Yes, all of you, I am waiting. Yes, so Lake Priya, she is saying it is D, and Trisha is also saying it is D. So yes, so what happens is that in the liver, bile pigments are secreted. Okay, and what are the bile pigments? They are bilirubin. Okay, it is only bilirubin. So this bilirubin is then released into the intestine, and from the intestine this bilirubin is excreted out. Okay, and the color of this bilirubin is yellow, and this bilirubin gives yellow color to the stools. All right, so if the stools is whitish gray in color, it means that bilirubin is absent, isn't it? Bilirubin is absent. And the bilirubin is produced by which organ? It is liver, and that is why the answer will be liver. That is option D. Okay, and one more thing is that bilirubin is formed by breakdown of old RBCs. RBCs are broken down and biliverdin is formed. Okay, and then this biliverdin is changed into bilirubin. It is changed into bilirubin in the liver, and then it is excreted in the small intestine, and this gives yellow color to the stool. Okay, yes, all of you were correct. So the option is option D, liver. Now moving to the next question, question number 8. Emulsification of fat is carried out by. Emulsification of fat is carried out by option A, bile pigments, option B, bile salts, option C, hydrochloric acid, and option D, pancreatic juice. So what is the answer for this question? Yes, anyone? Emulsification of fat. Okay, it is important question. Emulsification of fat is carried out by. Yes, I think Trisha is the fastest one. Yes, Trisha and Lake Priya, both of you are doing very good so far. So see, yes, it's correct. So bile salts. Bile salts. What are the bile salts? Bile salts, they are sodium glycolate, glycocolate, and sodium taurocolate, and sodium taurocolate. So they have charge on them. They have charge on them. So initially, fat is aggregated. Fat is aggregated. It is fat molecules. So what we do is that what our body does is that it releases the bile salts into the intestine, and then this is shaked. This is shaked. Okay, by the peristaltic movement, and after shaking, this they form tiny globules. They form tiny globules, and in between them bile salts enter. Okay, here bile salts enter, and that is why they do not remain aggregated, and small structure are formed, and these small structures that are formed, it is known as micelle. Okay, it is known as micelles. Okay, and this reduce the surface tension of the large fat globules, and they turn into the minute particles, and this process is known as emulsification of fat. So the correct answer over here will be option B, that is bile salts. Now coming to the next question. So next question is, fructose is absorbed into the blood through the mucosa cells of the intestine by the process called option A, active transport, option B, facilitated transport, option C, simple diffusion, and option D, co-transport mechanism. So what is the answer for this question? I mean, what is the way in which the fructose is absorbed in the alimentary canal? So yes, I think Hisham, you need to work more on your concepts. Anyone else would like to answer for this? See, there are various mechanisms by which what is the main function of digestion? Digestion means breaking down of large particles into smaller particles, so that it should be able to reach inside the cell. Okay, and the absorption process, that is the last process, that is the absorption, it occurs in the mucosa. It occurs in the mucosa by various process. So first it is simple diffusion. Simple diffusion is very less common. Okay, Hisham, simple diffusion is very less common. The most of the glucose and the small amino acids, they are absorbed by means of most of the amino acids and the sugars, they are absorbed by means of active transport. They are absorbed by means of active transport. But there is some interesting exception, and they are fructose and some of the amino acids, that is the charged amino acid. Okay, they are not able to enter directly into the mucosa. Okay, so there should be someone, their friend, that would be able to take them with them inside the mucosa. Okay, and that friend is the sodium. So this is the cell, and here it is the channel. Okay, from this channel only sodium can enter, from this channel only sodium can enter, and fructose cannot. So fructose, what it tries, it makes friend with the sodium, and both of them enter together inside the cell, and this process is known as facilitated transport. A very important question for both AIIMS and NEET. Now moving on to the next question. Yes, it is facilitated transport. So question number 10. Which enzymes are likely to act on the baked potatoes eaten by a man starting from the mouth as it moves down to the alimentary canal? Option A, salivary maltase followed by carboxypeptidase, then trypsinogen. Option B, pancreatic amylase, then salivary amylase, then lipases. Option C, disaccharidases, lipases, nucleases, and option D, salivary amylase, then pancreatic amylase, then disaccharidases. So what will be the answer for this question? Yes. So before that, we need to know that what is present, why the examiner has written baked potatoes. What is the significance of baked potatoes? So baked potatoes, here it means that here starch is present. Okay, starch is present in the baked potato. Yes, Lake Priya, again you are doing very well, and Hisham, yes, you are still on the race. So let us figure it out. Okay, so first important question from this: chemical process of digestion starts in the oral cavity. Okay, it is important, and that process is started by an enzyme, that is salivary amylase. And the first food, that is first component of the food that is digested or broken down is starch, and that is broken down by the salivary amylase. So this salivary amylase breaks down this starch. Okay, so it acts on the starch, then it forms the maltose. From 30% of the starch, from 30% of the starch is converted into the maltose. Then this maltose reaches into the alimentary canal, and in the alimentary canal, this is the duodenum part. Okay, this is the duodenum part. In the duodenum, there is the pancreas. Here the pancreas is present. This pancreas releases an enzyme, and that enzyme is known as pancreatic. Pancreatic amylase, and this pancreatic amylase acts further on this maltose and breaks it down into simple sugars. Okay, that is disaccharides. Okay, then these disaccharides are acted upon by the disaccharidases. The disaccharidases that is secreted by the mucosa, of the small intestine. And that is known as disaccharidases. So the option here will be option D. All right. Now moving on to the question number 11. Lysozyme that is present in the perspiration, that is sweat, saliva and tears, it destroys. Option A, certain types of bacteria. Option B, all viruses. Option C, most viruses that infect most virus infected cells. And option D, certain fungi. So the lysozyme that is commonly present in the perspiration and saliva, what does it destroys? So yes, Hisham, you are really doing very great. Okay, so let us understand what is lysozyme. Lysozyme, lysozyme is an enzyme. Lysozyme is an enzyme that is secreted in the saliva. That is secreted in the saliva, and it has, yes, Lake Priya, Trisha, Jivita, Akshaya, Shri Vidya, all of you have answered it correctly. And this lysozyme has a bactericidal action. It has a bactericidal action. See, and side means to kill. Side means to kill, like the suicide. Okay, and bacteria means bacteria. Okay, so this lysozyme, what it does is that it makes tiny holes. It makes tiny holes on the surface. It makes tiny hole on the surface of the bacteria. So holes are created all over the cell wall. So from these holes, the contents of the bacteria passes out. Okay, it passes out, and the bacteria dies. And that is why the lysozyme acts on certain types of bacteria, and the correct answer is option A. Now moving to the next question. Question number 12. During prolonged fasting, in what sequence are the following organic compounds used by our body? Okay, while fasting, what is the order in which the main components or the major components are used by the body? Option A, proteins, then lipids, then carbohydrates. Option B, carbohydrate, then fats, then proteins. Option C, fats, then carbohydrates, lastly proteins. And option D, carbohydrate, proteins and lipids. Yes, Isham, you are doing seriously very well. Trisha, yes. Akshay, yes, all of you are very correct. So see, carbohydrates, they are the basic source of energy. Carbohydrates are the basic source of energy. It means that at all the time in our all the time in our blood, the carbohydrates are present. Okay, carbohydrates are present. It is in the form of glucose. Glucose is traveling every second in our blood. Okay, and it provides energy. So if any cell wants to use energy, the first compound that it will try to eat or utilize is the carbohydrate. If in our body carbohydrates are very much, I mean the energy is very much in our body, then it will try to store that energy, and the storage form of energy is fat. And that is why if you eat excess, then you will get fat, because more storage is happening. Okay, and finally, if the fat is also utilized completely, then the final thing that the body is trying to protect at all times, the most precious thing in our body, and that is proteins. It is present in the muscles, okay, and all the enzymes in our body. Then this proteins is utilized to give energy to the brain, and that is why this is the order. So the order is carbohydrates, then fats, and lastly proteins. Now coming to the next question, question number 13. The hormone that stimulates the stomach to secrete gastric juice is option A, enterogastron, option B, enterokinase, option C, renin, and option D, of this, which is the hormone. Okay, it is an hormone that stimulates the gastric juice. So I can give you an hint that the name is similar to that of the gastric juice. So what is it? So the hormone that acts on the stomach to increase the gastric acid secretion, it is, yes, anyone? I am waiting for your response. Yes, Hisham, try to answer this question. Okay, at least try. So see, there are various hormones, that various neural and hormonal mechanisms that maintains the secretion and the movement of the food inside the alimentary canal. Okay, so see, what is first option, that is enterogastron. Enterogastron, it does the reverse thing. Okay, enterogastron, it, what it does is that it inhibit it inhibit the secretion of the gastric juice. Okay, it inhibit the secretion of the gastric juice. Yes, Jivita, very well. Option is D. So there has to be one another counter regulatory hormone that should increase the secretion, isn't it? And that counter regulatory hormone that increase the secretion, it is gastrin. So gastrin increase the secretion. Okay, now coming to the other hormones, first the endocrines. Okay, just remember one fact: if there is ASE written in front of any name, then just take it for granted that it is an enzyme. It is an enzyme and it is not a hormone. Okay, and it is an enzyme that is present in the small intestine that converts trypsinogen into trypsin. All right, and then option C, it is renin. Renin is secreted by the kidneys. Renin is secreted by the kidneys and it regulates the blood pressure of our body. It is also very important for your examination. RAS system, that is renin angiotensinogen aldosterone system, is asked frequently in AIIMS and NEET examination. Now moving on to the next question. So answer is option D, that is gastrin. Question number 14. If for some reason the parietal cells of the gut epithelium become partially non-functional, then what is likely to happen? Option A, the pancreatic. So what does this pancreatic cells does? We have seen that it secretes hydrochloric acid. All right, so let us see the option. Option A, the pancreatic enzymes and especially the trypsin and lipase will not work efficiently. Option B, the pH of the stomach will fall abruptly. Option C, stepsin will be more effective. And option D, proteins will not be adequately hydrolyzed by pepsin into proteoses and peptones. So what is the answer? Yes, Jivita, very well. So sorry, it is Lake Priya. Sorry, Lake Priya. Yes, Jivita, yes, and Shri Vidya. So let us see. Let us break this down. Okay. So the this parietal cells, it is present in the stomach. So whatever happens, it has to happen in the stomach. Okay. So what it does, it secretes hydrochloric acid, and hydrochloric acid converts pepsinogen. It converts pepsinogen into pepsin. Okay, and this pepsin acts upon the proteins and converts these proteins into proteases, proteoses and peptones. Okay, proteases and peptones. So if parietal cells is not working, then hydrochloric acid is not secreted, and if hydrochloric acid is not secreted, the pepsin will not be formed, isn't it? Pepsin will not be formed, and if pepsin is not formed, then the proteins will not be converted into proteases and the peptones. And that is why the correct answer here would be option D. Okay, and the other thing is that you should remember what is stepsin. What is stepsin? Stepsin is another name for lipases. It is another name for lipases, and the pH will not fall, the pH will rise. Okay, so the correct answer would be option D. Now moving to the next question. All the digestive enzymes like the carbohydrates, carbohydrates, protease, lipase, DNase and RNase, they are found in. So these are the enzymes in which component of the cell they are found in. Option A, lysosome. Option B, peroxisome. Option C, glyoxysome. And option D, vacuole. So what will be the answer for this question? Yes, anyone? So in which component of a cell this enzymes will be present? Okay, these enzymes cannot be just roaming around in the cell, isn't it? If it is free in the cell, it will digest complete cell, and that is why it has to be kept inside a special component. Okay, a special component. Okay, one organelle. And what is that? What is that? Yes, anyone? Yes, Jivita, give it a try. Hisham, Lekpriya, Akshaya. So see, that organelle is a lysozyme. That organelle is a it is a lysosome. Yes, Trisha, very well said. Yes, Jivita, it is lysosome. So one more thing, lyse means to break down. Okay, lyse means to break. Okay, so each and everything that is present inside the cell that is mean to break the carbohydrate, break the protein or the lipid, that is where it is present, that organelle is known as lysosome. Okay, and one more thing, see, like we have whole of the digestive system in us present, isn't it? But the digestive system, it is absent in the single cell. So in the single cell, this lysosome, in the single cell, this lysosome, it is their stomach or the digestive system. All right, so the option here would be option A, and that is lysosome. Yes, Srividya, yes, Lekpriya, you all are correct. Okay, and Hisham, just give it a try for each and every question. Okay, you may be wrong, but just give it a try. Question number 16. Semi-digested food in the intestine is called as. Semi-digested food in the intestine is called as. Option A, chyle. Option B, chyme. Option C, bolus. And option D, none of this. So what will be the answer for this question? So what will be the answer? What is this semi-digested food known as? So yes, Trisha, very fast. Yes, Lekpriya, very well done. Hisham, at least you are trying. Okay, good. See, the food from mouth enters into the stomach. Okay, and from the stomach it enters into the intestine, and in the intestine it is semi-digested. Okay, before the enzymes are acting upon this food, it is semi-digested, and that food and that form is known as chyme. That semi-digested form is known as chyme. Okay, then what is chyle? Then what do you mean by chyle? So as we have discussed earlier that the lipids, see, this is the mucosa of the small intestine, and inside the mucus, and here the villi are present, and here the villi are present, and from this villi the food is getting absorbed, the food is getting absorbed, and all this food has to be reached where the food will be reached, it will be reaching into the blood, and that is why the blood vessel is present in the villi. Okay, but one important fact is that this uh, lipid, the lipids cannot be directly entered inside our blood. Okay, and for that one lymphatic vessel is present, only one lymphatic vessel is present in the villi, and that is known as lacteal, and that is known as lacteal. And in this the fat is absorbed, the fat particles are present in the lymph, and that is known as chyle, and that is known as chyle. Okay, and it is white in color, it is white in color. And then what is bolus? See, when the food is present in our mouth, there because of mastication, the food is broken down into very small particles. Okay, it is broken down into very small particles, and then mucus is also released in the mouth, and this mucus combines with the small particles, and a ball is formed. Okay, and a ball is formed, and because it is like a ball, it is known as bolus. Okay, this is known as bolus. So for this question the correct answer is option B, that is chyme. All right. Okay, yes, Jivita, Akshaya, Srividya, all of you are correct. Now coming to question number 17. Question number 17. The protein coated water soluble fat globules are called. Option A, chylomicrons. Option B, micelles. Option C, chyle. And option D, monoglyceride. Okay, I really want to see that what you all are going to answer for this question. So what is this protein coated water soluble fat globules are known as? So we have discussed earlier also, fat cannot directly enter into the blood. Okay, because see, if you add fat inside water, what will happen? It will float on the surface, isn't it? And we want this fat to travel inside the blood, isn't it? And it cannot travel if it is not water soluble. So we have to do something that this fat globule is converted into a water soluble form, so that it is converted into a water soluble form. Yes, Hisham, very well. Lake Priya, Trisha, Jivita, Srividya, all of you are correct. It is chylomicrons. Okay, so see, so this is the mucosa of the small intestine, and this is the enterocytes. Okay, these are the cells of the small intestine, and here the fatty acids are present. After complete absorption, the fatty acids are present in the lumen. Then this enterocyte, they take up this fat globule. Okay, and then what happens, that inside this cell, this fat globules, they are covered by a protein layer. Okay, inside this cell they are covered by a protein layer, and this protein layer that is present around the fat globule, it is known, then it forms one structure. Okay, and this structure, that is protein with fat globule, it is known as chylomicron. And then this chylomicron is dumped inside the blood. Okay, and it is transported as chyle. Okay, so the correct answer is chylomicrons, as you all have said. Now coming to question number 18. Select the correct match of the digested products in humans given in column 1 with their absorption site and mechanism in column 2. Okay, first the products and then the absorption site and also the mechanism. So we have discussed this question, so I want all of you to answer it correctly. So column 1, A, fructose and sodium in the small intestine by passive absorption. Option B, glycerol and fatty acids in the duodenum as chylomicrons. Option C, cholesterol and maltose in the large intestine by active absorption. And option D, glycine and glucose in the small intestine by the active absorption. So tell me, what will be the correct answer for this question? Okay, so what is the correct answer? Yes, Lake Priya, yes, Trisha, very well. Sorry, okay. Okay, Lake Priya, very good. Trisha, we have just covered this question, isn't it? Yes, Jivita. See, as I have told you that one more thing, most of the absorption, okay, all the absorption in our body occurs in the intestine, okay, small intestine. Almost there is no absorption of the food that is occurring in the large intestine, and that is why option C is gone. Okay, and in the small intestine also, the most of the absorption of the food, okay, like the carbohydrate, protein and fat, it occurs in the jejunum part. It occurs in the jejunum part and the ileum part. It occurs in the jejunum and the ileum part. Okay, in the duodenum only the enzymes are poured, and the enzymes are poured and they are broken down. So the option B is also incorrect, and I have told you that it is absorbed by the facilitated transport, and hence option A is also correct, also incorrect. So the correct answer is option D. Now coming to question number 19. One of the constituents of the pancreatic juice while poured in the duodenum in humans is. So which of the following is the constituent? Yes, Trisha, not an issue. Give incorrect answer also. You will learn more from the incorrect answer than from the correct answer. Okay. So what is the constituent of the pancreatic juice that is present, that is poured into the duodenum? Option A, trypsinogen. Option B, chymotrypsin. Option C, trypsin. And option D, enterokinase. So tell me which of this is present in the pancreatic juice. Hisham, don't be in a hurry to answer the question. Okay, first read it and then try to understand and then give the answer. Okay, most of the students do this. When we are in the examination in a hurry, we go for the wrong answer. See, first of all, the enterokinase is not secreted by the pancreas at all. Okay, it secretes three enzymes. They are trypsinogen, then chymotrypsinogen, and the third one, it is procarboxypeptidase. It is procarboxypeptidases. So all of these three, they are present in the inactive form, that is also known as the zymogen form. Okay, zymogen form. So tell me, what will be the answer for this question? Yes, Lake Priya, Trisha, Srividya, Akshaya, Jivita, all of you are correct. It will be option A, that is trypsinogen, and then this trypsinogen will be acted upon by the enterokinase, and this enterokinase is secreted from the duodenal mucosa. Okay, I have told you that all the glands, they are present in the mucosa, and it will convert it into trypsin. So the correct answer is option A, that is trypsinogen. Now coming to question number 20. Epithelial cells of the intestine, they are involved in the food absorption, have on their surface. So what is present on the surface of this epithelial cells? Okay, this is the epithelial cells of the intestine that are known as enterocytes. On the surface of this is the villi. Okay, this is the villi. On the villi, enterocyte is present, and on this enterocyte, one specific structure is present, okay, that increases the surface area of the small intestine and increase the absorption. So what is this structure? Is it pilocytic vesicle? Is it microvilli? Is it zymogen granules or the phagocytic vesicle? Yes, Trisha, yes, Hisham, yes, Priya, Akshaya, very well said. It is microvilli. Okay, so this small structure that is present over the villi, they are known as microvilli, and because it is present like a brush, okay, you can see that it is present like a brush from this, and that is why The epithelium of the intestine is also known as brush bordered epithelium. Okay, so the correct answer, okay, so this is the villi. Okay, we have already covered it. So the correct answer is option B. That is my. Now coming to question number 21. A person had to undergo a surgery in which a major portion of his pancreas was removed. So which of the following food constituents which he finds especially difficult to digest? So in this question, you have to answer one component whose digestion only occurs because of the pancreatic enzyme. Because of the pancreatic enzyme. So is it starch, is it proteins, is it fats, or is it the lactose? So what is it? Which solely occurs, means which of the following thing is digested only by the small intestine? So see, yes, all of you, what is the answer for this question? Anyone? So see, we have discussed that about the starch, isn't it? So the starch is first digested inside. The starch is first, yes, Ashwarya, no, it's incorrect. Then yes, Lake Priya. See, we have discussed that the starch is first digested inside. It is first digested inside the oral cavity, isn't it? The starch is first digested in the oral cavity. Then the oral cavity, this is the esophagus. From the esophagus, it is the stomach. Okay, in the stomach, pepsin is present, and because of pepsin, okay, here starch is digested, and because of pepsin, protein is also digested. Okay, protein is also digested. Then in the intestine, disaccharidases are present. Okay, that disaccharidases act upon the lactose. Okay, and converts the disaccharidases can act upon the lactose, and that is present in the small intestine. It is present in the small intestine. So only one thing that is present in the pancreas, that is known as lipases or the trypsin. It digests the fat. And hence if the pancreas is removed completely, the fats, it will not be digested at all, and that is why the correct answer here would be answer C. Okay guys, is C, fats. Now coming to question number 2. Trypsin act upon option A, peptide bond, option B, glycosidic bonds, option C, ester bonds, and option D, that is the hydrogen bonds. So as I have told you that trypsin is the another name of the lipase. So just tell me, what is the type of bond that is present in the lipids? So what is the type of bond that is present in the lipids? Yes, you can guess the answer actually in this. It is a very easy question. So there will be a particular bond that will be present in the lipid, and that bond will be broken down by these lipases, and then it will be absorbed in our body. So see, in the peptide bonds, they are present in the proteins. The peptide bonds, they are present in the proteins. The glycosidic bonds, you can see glycosidic, it resembles in name with the glucose. Okay, and that is why it is present in the carbohydrates. So glycosidic bonds, it is present in the carbohydrates. Okay, and in the food, hydrogen bonds is not present. Okay, in the food, hydrogen bond is present but can be broken down very easily. No specific enzyme is required. Okay, so leave it. And in the lipid, the fats are formed by the combination of an acid and an alcohol. Okay, and the acid and alcohol, as you have learned in the chemistry, forms which bond? It is the ester bond, and that is why the correct answer here would be ester bond. Okay, and the acid here is the fatty acid, and the alcohol is glycerol, and the alcohol is glycerol. So the correct answer is option C, that is the ester bond. Okay, yes, very well done all of you. Yes, it is ester bond. Now coming to question number 23. If the bile pancreatic duct is blocked, the following will not be affected at all. Okay, so option A is digestion of proteins, option B emulsification of fats, option C level of blood glucose, and option D digestion of starch. So for this question, let me tell you that this is the structure of the pancreas. Okay, this is the pancreas, and this is the structure above the pancreas. This is the structure of the liver. Okay, this is the structure of the liver. From the liver, the hepatic duct arises. From the liver, hepatic duct arises, and from the pancreas, the pancreatic duct arises. From the pancreas, the pancreatic duct arises, and then both of them commonly form the hepatopancreatic duct. Both of them commonly form the hepatopancreatic duct, and this hepatopancreatic ducts, it opens into the duodenum. It opens into the duodenum, and there is a guarding that guards in the duodenum the opening of this hepatopancreatic duct. This is a sphincter. Okay, and this is known as sphincter of OD. Okay, very important for the examination. So if this sphincter of OD is affected, this pancreas and the liver enzymes will not be pushed into the duodenum. So see, digestion of protein will be affected because the pancreas secrete the enzymes. Okay, trypsin and chymotrypsin, carboxylpeptidase. Emulsification of fat will be affected because lipases will not be released because it is blocked completely. Digestion of starch will also be affected because amylase is not released. Okay, but what about the level of blood glucose? The blood glucose, blood glucose is maintained. Glucose is maintained by two hormone. Okay, mind it, by two hormone, and those hormone they are insulin and the glucagon. Okay, both of them maintain the blood hormone. Insulin decrease the blood glucose, glucagon increase the blood glucose. Okay, and they are secreted directly. They are secreted from the islets of Langerhans directly into the blood, and that is why, although if it is blocked, the blood glucose will not be affected. So the correct answer is option C, that is level of blood glucose, as most of you have already answered. Now coming to question number 24. When breastfeeding is replaced by a less nutritive food, low in protein. Okay, this is important. Low in protein. Okay, low protein and low calorie. Okay, both low in protein and calorie. The infants below the age of 1 year, they are likely to suffer from which disease? Option A, it is rickets. Option B, it is kwashiorkor. Option C, pellagra, and option D, it is the marasmus. So Trisha has answered option B, and Lake Priya has answered option D. Okay, as I can see you from your answers, many have prepared very well for your examination, isn't it? So see, let us understand the concept. See, there is two types of things, okay, that you have to remember. One, it is the marasmus. Okay, what happened is that during the time of any disaster, food is completely means not available for the small children. Okay, if the food is completely not available, the child will not get protein. That is, food will not have protein, it will not have calorie, both, isn't it? And if both are absent, the child will be very thin. Okay, it will be very thin. Okay, I remember it as marasmus means marawa. Okay, very thin. So it will be marasmus and it occurs below the 1 year. Then the next is kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor, what happens is that in Africa, they give rise to, they give many babies. Okay, they give rise to many babies. So once the new baby is there, they decrease the food, means the older baby is not able to get proper food. Okay, so although mother tries to feed that baby, the food that the older baby that it takes, it contains less protein, because the mother is not able to give milk to the previous baby. Okay, so the protein is less, but this mother tries to feed the baby as much as possible, and that is why there is high in calorie, and this leads to increase in the stomach size of the baby, because the calorie is high and the protein is less. And this condition is known as kwashiorkor, and it occurs greater than 1 year, because at least 1 year means 9 months is required for the next pregnancy, isn't it? That is why this condition will occur more than 1 year. So the correct answer here would be option D, that is marasmus. Okay, as yes, all of you are correct. Now question number 25. Which one of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Which of the following pairs is not correctly matched? Option A, vitamin B6, B12, pernicious anemia. Option B, vitamin B6, loss of appetite. Option C, vitamin B1, beriberi. And option D, B3 and pellagra. Yes. So what will be the answer of question number 25? So I wonder which is the nerve which controls the secretion of Brunner's gland. Please help. I mean, okay, Brunner's gland. Okay, see, we will cover it now. Okay. So what is the answer? What is the answer of question number 25? So before that, we will try to answer Muhammad Jasim. Okay. See, in the stomach, this is serosa. Okay, this is the submucosa. This is serosa. This is the muscularis, and here, okay, and below the muscularis, the submucosa is present. And in the submucosa, two important plexus is present. Okay, in this submucosa, two important plexus are present. They are known as myenteric plexus, and the second one is known as the mesenteric plexus. Okay, myenteric plexus, myo always refer to muscle. So myenteric plexus, it controls the muscles, and the mesenteric plexus, it controls the all the glands that is present inside this alimentary canal. All right, and this mesenteric plexus, it is formed by a nerve. Okay, you can remember that all the glands, okay, in our body, means in the alimentary canal, it is provided by a nerve, and that is vagus nerve, and that is the vagus nerve. So the correct answer, so the most correct answer would be the vagus nerve. If there is other option, then I can help you out. Okay, Jasim. Okay, Jasim. So now coming back to our question number 25. So yes, all of you are very smart. You have given answer before I have explained only. So let us see. I have told you about the pernicious anemia. What is the name of vitamin B12? It is cyanocobalamin. Okay, it is also important for the exam. Then vitamin B1, B3. So the deficiency of vitamin B1 is thiamine. And its deficiency leads to an disease, that is berry. Vitamin B3, it is known as niacin. Okay, it is known as niacin, and its deficiency is known as the pellagra. Okay, and vitamin B12 deficiency we have covered, it occurs in the pernicious anemia. So we know that option A, C and D all are correct. Okay, so by elimination we can say that option B is incorrect. Okay, option B is incorrect. So the answer here is option B. And the name of the vitamin B6, it is the pyridoxine. Okay, welcome Mohammed Jasim. Okay, it was very nice question. I have explained some facts also based on that. So now coming to question number 26. A patient suffering from the cholera is given saline drip because, okay, saline means salty, okay, and salt means NaCl. So the saline drip that you get in the hospital is known as saline. If the patient gets cholera, why does he get the saline drip? Option A, chloride ions are important component of the blood plasma. Option B, sodium ions help to retain water in the body. Option C, sodium ions are important in transport of substances across the membrane. And option D, chloride ions help in the formation of HCl in the stomach for digestion. So what will be the answer for this question? So why do we give saline to the patients? Okay. So Lake Priya, she is saying it is option B. Is it so? Anyone else? Different answer? Yes, Trisha. Okay, Shri Vidya. You are all preparing very well for the examination. So see, yes, actually it is a difficult question, but still you all have given it correctly. So what is the mechanism of the cholera? What is the mechanism of the cholera? See, this is the cholera bacteria. Okay, and this cholera bacteria, it secretes certain toxin. Okay, it is the toxin that is secreted by the cholera bacteria, and this is the cells of the intestine. This toxin acts upon these intestinal cells, and then when it acts, it stimulates the cyclic AMP. It stimulates cyclic AMP, and because of this cyclic AMP, this membrane of this enterocyte, it becomes permeable to the surface. It becomes permeable for the water, and that is why excess of the water comes out from the enterocyte, and that is why the person secretes large amount of, it secretes, okay, this is the alimentary canal, it secretes large amount of water inside the alimentary canal. Okay, and that is why that patient has diarrhea. Okay, and with this water, sodium is also released, it is also excreted out. Okay, and if the sodium is released from the blood, if the blood